Hey guys, welcome to my showcase. This is a Lightning Tendrils Scion in the Rampage League, and it's a Quadcurse or triple curse caster using two different Lightning Tendrils, one in my Vertex or Joffrey's Quest, depending on your budget or the state of your league, and another one in a 6-link or 5-link, depending on what you want to use. And this is used for cursing multiple curses, as in Warlord's Mark, Assassin's Mark, Elemental Weakness, and as the fourth curse, Temporal Chains. This build is highly effective for offense. The clear speed is pretty good. It's good AoE clear speed, and at the same time, the support it provides is immense. Even with just 3 curses, it's almost double damage and 3 endurance charges, 3 power charges for everyone. Overall, I would say it's a pretty good build. You can start the ladder with it. I went through Rampage self-found with it in like 2 days from 1 to 70. Lightning Tendrils is pretty good right now. You can easily get 2 maps with just a 3-link Lightning Tendrils in a +1 staff. So but this is not about the leveling, this is the end game build. I'll showcase a bit in the map, start about, just on random map. Minus max should be fine. This is it's a pretty open setup. You can go multiple ways depending on your preferences. Different setups for Stormcall, maybe Val Haste, Val Spark, multiple opportunities for different skill setups. What I'm doing here right now is cursing with 1 Lightning Tendrils, and it even does pretty good damage, like 9k, already pretty good. Did some 78 clears with just the curse Tendrils, and the other one 27k right now, pretty good. There's an exile, not too difficult. I'll go into detail later why it's that easy for this build. As you can see, clear speed's pretty good, maybe a bit one-dimensional. I was using Ice Nova before, but I realized the area is pretty good. The riff effect of even the non-main Lightning Tendrils. And overall, one time Val Stormcall, pretty good, pretty easy. A bit of damage. Didn't have my my cast damage taken setup right now. It's pretty decent build. Even with mediocre gear, I'm starting off this build with like some spare gear I had remaining. This is not my main gear, it's just to showcase that this build is definitely viable even with low cost gear. I don't want to use my level 4 in power I got by chance and stuff. Just this build works fine with low gear, high gear at every stage of the game. I'll just leave the map again. This was a brief showcase. So, what does this character do? Main focus was to get Lightning Tendrils up to a high enough AoE. So I went Scion and started up to pick all area of effect nodes. The 3 at Scion, the 3 at Templar, and the 4 at Witch, for a total of let's see, 52% increased AoE modifier. Then I decided to not go for crit at first, at least, because I wanted reliable damage. So I went for Empower and Vertex as a 4-link, the one that was made popular by Fox Tactics last era with Arc. Pretty reliable damage without, because you already have problems with lightning damage, as it's not too reliable, high top end, low end. So I went and grabbed a bunch of spell damage. Started here, went spell damage. Later on went lightning damage, elemental damage at shadow. Went for area damage, lightning damage up here, and there's some area damage, more elemental damage. And then I decided to increase the reliability of the skill even more, because it deals damage 4 rapid times, rapid succession for attacks. So if each of those attacks has a decent chance to shock, I'll get reliable shocks on like half the pack of the mobs. So I went for shock duration and shock chance. This cluster here, the one that was previously like located here, and Breath of Lightning for additional shock chance and shock duration. By now I'm critting quite a bit, but I still like it as it's really consistent damage output. But what else? With high AoE and high spell damage, it was already pretty good. I was feeling pretty well doing leveling, and then I thought I could easily use my chest as a 6-link, 5-link to deal additional damage as a support. So I thought, why not go for triple curse? I got a nice amulet here that I posted on the forums some weeks ago, so I thought maybe I could go triple curse. So I went triple curse. So I grabbed all the curse nodes for additional curse effect, more curse effect, and double curse, more curse effect. The other nodes you have to take, but they don't do that much for this build. It's cast speed for curses, you don't cast it yourself, it's just cast via attack. And that's pretty much it until like level 80 something. And so the rest is life nodes, life nodes, life nodes, life nodes, whole life wheel, and most important, Valpact to counteract reflect. This build is pretty reflect proof. I've died sometimes to reflect, but just due to me doing mistakes. In itself, the build is pretty reflect proof. If you build it right, it's even better. You could go way over leech cap with it, thanks to Warlord's Mark mainly. So just high amount of life, as much as I could get. So with Tabula Rasa, no ring slot, no boot slot for life. Got 4.4k. That's okay. With my normal gear, I think I got 5k HP. It's not great. Maybe ES would be better, but I like life more. I can use pots. And with Valpact, I'm almost full HP in like 1 or 2 frames, one attack. Yeah, that's about the build, I think, about the passive tree. Later on, of course, I went for power charges, more crit, and crit, because I got it for like free. At first I had the cast speed spell damage cluster down here. Then I realized this is just one more point, and this node is almost as strong as the whole cluster down there. So I just specced into a bit of crit. Realized with Assassin's Mark I've got quite reliable crit, so I went for more crit. Just 8 nodes of crit. And I'm critting reliably, but it's not the main focus. It's just another means of increasing damage. Regarding the triple curse, I realized I didn't notice before this build. Warlord's Mark is a pretty good curse. It's capped leech for both leech types. When you hit stuff that's cursed with Warlord's Mark, you're always full mana. If you go for cloak, you'd always have Mind Over Matter pool at full percentage values. Life leech is always kept. I got an additional 1% lightning leech here, but it's redundant. Warlord's Mark is enough to counteract Reflect normally. In addition, you get additional chance for Endurance Charge. So I usually have my Endurance Charges up at all times, unless they get consumed by Immortal Core. Like one pack in and I got full Endurance Charges. And even the last part is really, really strong. Additional chance, stun threshold reduction, or just stuns, a chance to get stunned is really, really strong. If you could see before the exiled Magnus Stonehorn, he was perma-stunned once I started attacking him. So it's really good defensively. I've stunned multiple bosses like Necropolis, Merveil. Most bosses are pretty easy with this, even if the damage is not that good. Assassin's Mark is additional damage due to critical multiplier and really high chance for power charges. It's almost guaranteed full power charges after group, same as Warlord's Mark. Quality helps on both curses, but it's already pretty good without quality. Life gain and mana gain when killed is decent, but not much. Not that much needed. It's just for the power charges. Illa weakness is really strong. It's with my curse effectiveness it's better than a penetration game almost at rares, and maybe on bosses. Not too sure about that. I just releveled it. Quality GCP recipe, and it was still strong at level 1 with 20 quality, so you can just level the curses once, quality them, go ahead once more. I recently added the 6th slot, normally using another chest, a 6-link Carcass check. Just this was my old one, then I didn't, then just went for triple curse, pretty good back then. With temporal chains, it's auto win. Once stuff is cursed, it doesn't move anymore. Even at Zeri, it's pretty easy. Yeah, what else? I'm using both heralds, Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice, both adding to my spell damage.
I have nothing more to give.
It's only tiny bit of additional damage for the Tendrils, but the most important part is the active element. The Shattering of both Herald of Ice is the highest DPS type part of the build, and Herald of Thunder is additional damage, kills stragglers, and decent damage overall. And I'm not using my auras for anything else, so I just went with Life Leech on them. It's pretty helpful against Reflect, with Herald of Ice critting the whole pack, or even just killing the whole pack with normal spells. And Empower. I got a higher level Empower in my chest, but level 2 works fine. Ideal target would be like having a +1 to gems corrupted glove, but that's not too realistic, so that's just hypothetical. Yeah. My setups for Lightning Tendrils. With my Carcass Jack, I felt like I could go for Concentrated Effect. So less AoE, still have enough AoE. With Tabula, maybe go for Lightning Penetration or Spell Echo. I'm not that convinced about Spell Echo. Faster casting is like the single best gem. Can just sidestep. It's not like a channeled spell anymore. It's really easy to sidestep all the time. Without it, it's way more tedious. Every bit of cast speed helps loads with this build. And of course Empower for the double synergy with Vertex or Joffrey's Crest for additional levels. Like at the moment 19k, 22k, 23k, and the most important part is to have really high average damage, so you can shock with normal non-crits all the time. I'm not sure if my non-crits shock Palace Dominus, but the crits definitely shock him for a long time. I can perma shock him, so I guess I can shock anything in the game if I can shock him, except for the Zeri bosses and Zeri herself. Yeah. Remaining slots, Vaal Stormcall. right now I'm using 2 with a spell echo in a plus level lightning shield. Pretty good find. I bought this for 2x. Really happy about that. You can also use increased duration, increased crit multiplier, like anything that works beneficial to this. Yeah, I think that's about it. Maybe use a lightning warp setup, or just cast when damage taken. I got it in my chest right now, in my stash. Yeah, that's about it. For my superb gear, got like the cast when damage taken setup. For physical mitigation, recently bought my 6-link Quadcurse deck. It's really good. I spent like everything I found in this ladder on this chest. Before I spent everything I had before on the level 4 in power. Then I got my level 3 in power, corrupted it, got a lucky level 4 again. So those are definitely not needed, but they improve the build pretty much. And this amulet just lets me forgo the windscreen boots, so I can go for 30% move speed boots instead. I'm pretty happy to have this amulet in this one. If I try this build next ladder, I will corrupt like every single halfway decent amulet to get an additional curse. This is really good. It's not necessary, but the move speed is really slow with windscreen and way better with my normal 30 move speed boots. It's way more relaxing this way. I'll post another like palace map later on. Right now, characters level 89, capped resists. I guess I'll equip my normal stuff so I can just show my normal stats. Yeah, that's like this. Yeah, capped resists, 4.7k HP. The Tendrils reduced it by a bit. Before I think I had 5k. Bit chaos from Vertex. Decent energy shield, 1.2k. Level 89. I think I'll be going for either more spell crit, but more likely I'll just go for melding here, or not too sure. Maybe I'll try increased duration for Wildstorm Call or Immortal Call. Of course, duration helps quite a bit there. Or maybe I'll go for crit multiplier. Crits are pretty reliable. The curse effectiveness scales the amount of the crit chance for the curses, for the lightning tendrils by quite a bit. It states I should have, let's see, offense 25%, so it's up to, was it 37, 38 with power charges, but it feels like 70% with Assassin's Mark. 9% additional increase with curse effectiveness, like 50%. 18 from here, 12, 6 from the tree. It's quite enough to crit almost all the time. One thing I forgot. The best thing about lightning tendrils as curse on hit is the first hit curses, and the following 3 already deal additional damage due to the opponents being cursed. So Assassin's Mark, Elemental Weakness, Temporal Chance, Warlord's Mark, all in full effect. You instantly start leeching. Very strong for lightning tendrils. Perma leech is easily achievable. That's why I prefer it over every other skill. Maybe ball lightning is similar, but I don't like the targeting too much. I just rather like hitting the whole screen at once. Because once I hit the whole screen and start leeching and bashing, and you might not ever get damage back once more, but if you do, it's still leeches back so much. I can even just from like one boss target, I can leech like my normal leech cap in a second, even with just a Val pack instead of acuities or whatever. The build is loads of fun, pretty good leveling. Yeah, overall, my favorite build this league. That's it. Maybe I'll buy a camera, so you'll see me next time. Cheers.